Here we are on day 67 again. We were just told on the news that the company and that we have agreed to vote on a contract Wednesday. So, I'm not sure how much farther I'm going to get on this thing. Maybe I'll get the wings covered too. Right now the fuselage is formed. This is done. All the way down the side. And I think we'll start work. Good morning. Today is day 69. Today we're going to take this big orange card here and we're going to go vote on a contract that seems fairly decent all the way around. And vacation is over. So we made it to 69 days. I managed to get this biplane damn near done. All I really got left to do, the fuselage, is to really just to get the cabanes on, do some aerodynamic woodworking on the cabanes. I want to kind of dress them up, hide them. They're going to look like they come right out of the fuselage. And then cover the fuselage itself. And then once I got the fuselage covered, I can really consider fuselage done. The fuselage be done. Get the power plant on the front. I might be able to afford a brand new one now, so I might go ahead and get myself a brand new motor and everything for the front of this thing. But right now, either I have the choice of going to the cabanes, doing what I have to on the cabanes, or going back to the wings and actually cutting ailerons out, finishing covering the wings. So I really don't know at this moment. I'm kind of pissed that we're going to go back to work. I was having fun. So anyway, that's where I'm at. It's 69 days. This thing is almost done. All I have to do now is just cover the fuselage, get the cabanes in there, get the wings covered in the process, cut the ailerons out, hinge them in, which I could probably get one wing done today. I guess if I really push myself, I could probably get one of the wings actually fine-tuned, covered, and hinges in if I really wanted to. So I kind of got the itch to do that, just to get the wings out of the way. So really all I'd be down to is this fuselage. Because one of the reasons why it might be a good idea to go to the wings is the fact that I still have those fairings to get in around the bottom wing saddle there. I need my lower wing to be covered and almost complete before I put those fairings on. But then again, I do want the fabric on the fuselage before I put the fairings on. So we're going to have a give and take here, and it depends on if I actually get motivated enough to finish this, because I've copped an attitude in the last couple of days. Just the fact that I got to go back to work, and this is going to be hard to do, especially after 69 days. It's a 69er, dude. It's like we're both going to turn around and kiss each other's ass, and we're going to go back to work just before the holidays. We'll see if we end up working through the holidays or not. I don't know about that. So anyway, there we are. That's 69 days, almost complete. Almost complete. Just down to covering and doing some fine-tuning. And it's been a wonderful time. I've had a good time at this. And it did keep me busy. You can see, we're at the end of the strike, and I'm still not done with this plane. And I worked on it pretty consistent anyway through the strike. I was thinking about putting it all together and showing what it looks like. But, never mind, you get the idea. You'll see it all together, and you might even see it all in pieces again sometimes. So we're going to take our morning shower, and we're going to go vote. And then move on from here. Have a nice day. Well, okay, here we are at 7:30. Actually 7:27 per year clock. You have in front of you my very first Cabane fairing setup. Working pretty good. All I did was take a bunch of balsa blocks and I'm gonna fit the wire inside that back one, which is already done. That's already sunken in there. And then I'm gonna take one and do it on the front side. Do the same on that, sink that in there, and then I'm gonna shape it to about a diamond shape, an aerodynamic shape, you know, leading edge, leading edge, trailing edge, aerodynamic shape. I think that'll work out pretty good. You don't need to get too drastic. You just want to kind of hide the wire, kind of make it look like it's a little more scale, I guess. I'm just doing it to say I've done it, I guess. We're officially, strike is over. We've accepted this brand new contract as a 4-year contract. Accepted it 87%. So what you see is what you get. This biplane is down to covering the fuselage, covering 2 wings and ailerons, and then doing a paint job. This thing is almost done. I almost got it done. Got really, really close. Now I can afford to put a motor on it. So, note the date, the time. This is December 13th, 1995, 7:28, and we're officially off of strike. Going back to work tomorrow morning. I'm not really looking forward to it, but I guess it's time to move on. And okay, here we are, Sunday. This is the first weekend after returning to work. We've been back to work for 2 days now. Seems just like yesterday when we walked back in there. It still sucks. We'll have to work this whole week, and then we get Christmas off, and I sure the hell am going to take it. What you have in front of you right now is my basic idea on how I'm going to go ahead and aerodynamic these off. This is looks pretty good right now. I think it'll shape out as long as I don't get too carried away. I've also, in the meantime, I've gone ahead, and I'll take the cabanes out right now. You can see that I've got these 2 pieces made up now. These here are actual, they're an illusion of a skirting, an illusion of the liner of the cockpit. This here is going to be black, and I'm not quite sure, you might even see the windshield on it. I'll have to check that out later, but this here is just an insert. It's going to go ahead and fit down in there, and that's going to be black. That's going to give it an illusion of a cockpit and a liner, which is a leather liner around the Skybolt, I believe. And then this forward piece is giving the illusion it's a dual cockpit airplane, and it's a cover over the front hole, over the front cockpit. So those 2 pieces are out of the way now. Came out kind of cute, rather easily to do, and gonna keep going with the cabanes, and we'll show you what that looks like a little bit later. Okay, what you see in front of you is the right hand cabane, pretty much stock. I thought I'd take a shot of this before I shape it down. What I did is, one piece at a time, I glued this thing on. Or should I say, I glued one piece at a time on the sides, and then all it is just pretty much just, what is it, about, I don't even know what it is. 3/16 balsa, 3/16 by 4 inch. I just come up with my own measurements and that, and then I'm just like totally encased the wire. Right now I'm gluing the other side, the left hand cabane. I'm doing the same thing to it, and then when I can match these two up and get it where it looks pretty, where they mate together, looks clean, and then when I put wing on top, if it looks clean that way, then I'll go ahead and aerodynamically shape them down. I'm going to try and get them down as thin as I can for weight reason, because what you can see right in front of you is kind of big, bulky, and obnoxious. So we really don't want to add too much weight to this either. This right here, what I'm doing is more for looks than anything. I suppose I don't know if it's going to do anything for drag or not. You can see the other one I'm doing right now, and just one piece at a time. Backside, the backside has been shaped to the fuselage. Get it where you want it. Glue it on and anchor it with 5-minute epoxy. I'm using just clothespins to do it. And then I'll cap that off, as you can see. Another tape. I think I left off on the cabanes on the last tape. That was about a week or so back. We're currently on Christmas vacation. This is Wednesday. Really haven't done much work to the plane since last time you saw it on tape. I have, however, what you have in front of you right now is the cabanes, somewhat almost final finished. You get an idea of how slick they are on the forward side. I've shaped them up. I've shaped them the size, the basic shape right now. I really don't think, since this is such soft balsa, I might go ahead and throw some nitrate dope on them, harden them up. Give them a little sanding, do that again. I might even hit them with some silver before I go ahead and finally install them on here. It's easier to work on them with them off than it is with them on the plane. Plus I want to do the fuselage, give the fuselage a couple coats of nitrate, nice and smooth like, before I actually get the big cabanes over the top of it anyway, because it's going to end up trapping that area. So there's a forward view, and give you a pull out and a side view. They actually look kind of neat. But you can see they're still pretty ragged. I mean, they're not final by any means, but that's just an attempt at trying to hide the music wire. You don't have to do this. It was just to see if I could do it. It's really getting to be more of a tedious thing to do than it is probably worthwhile, but then most of the things I do are. So now that I got myself this far, I'm almost trapped where I have to finish them now. So we're just going to go ahead and fine-tune them just a little bit more, and I think we might hit them with some nitrate. It'll harden up the balsa, and then maybe I can get things a little more truer. I'll probably have to do some body filling and all that, but I want them to look real pretty like before I permanently install them. That's the objective anyway. They're still not glued into the fuselage. That's one of the reasons, and this right here in front of you is really one of the real reasons why All right, let me back up. This is one of the reasons why you went with a two-piece cabane. Is I can take this off, fine tune it, look it over, and work on it, put it back on the plane, see how it looks. If I don't like it, I can take it back off. So you can take the cabane on and off, do a little bit of work here, a little bit of work there, until you make the final decision to actually anchor it on there. Alright, here we are a few days later. I think I've got the fuselage as far as I want to take it, which is all the way up to cover. I think the fuselage is ready to cover. But before I go ahead and do the covering situation on the fuselage, I want to go ahead, believe I'm going to cover the bottom wing. For the simple reason is I got some fuselage to wing fairings that I still have to finish on the bottom of the wings there. Remember them big old fairings that I'm going to put on the base of the fuselage? They're going to go over the top of this bottom wing. So I should have this one almost done. And then reset it in the saddle, see how everything sits in that saddle, and go ahead and put my fairings in. So I need this wing basically finished before I can make the final conclusion on covering the fuselage. I keep jumping out of sequence because sometimes you have to keep yourself going. Everybody has their own technique, and you have to go with the flow, or go with how you feel as though you need to put it together. You don't need to follow those instructions. A lot of times I don't anyway. Well, anyway, here's the bottom wing. I'm still on Christmas vacation. This is Saturday, so I still got a couple days left on Christmas vacation. I thought I might get this thing done by then. I don't think so. Most likely not. Then again, I got 2 more days. I might be able to get all this covered. But the bottom wing, now what I have to do is make a final conclusion on all of the shapes. Am I sure this is the shape of the wing that I want? Go around it and check it out with some sandpaper, fine tune some things. Gonna have to break down some of my rigs. Just the rigs, the linkages to the wings. I'm gonna have to take the servo back off. And then I'm gonna have to disconnect the linkages to the ailerons down here. And cut the ailerons out. So fine tune it, make it sure it's where you want it first, and then we'll cut an aileron out, and we'll show you that fall out. And when I go ahead and cut the ailerons out, that's when I commit myself to ailerons basically. Once you cut them out, you're committed to finishing them up. So I'm going to have to go ahead and finish ailerons. So you've heard about them the whole damn time. Now it's time to cut them out and show you what we mean. Okay, so this is the bottom wing. I'm going to do a little bit of fine tuning, see how it looks, disconnect some things. And okay, here we are, last day of December 1995. Tomorrow we go into 1996. Got the day off tomorrow, and then we're back to work, and then it's back to life in general. So I think I'm going to try and get these ailerons done, and maybe try and cover it by the time I get back to work anyway. So what you're seeing in front of you is the lower wing. This is the bottom side of the right side. I'm going to go ahead and cut this aileron out in front of you. I have added 2 little plywood doublers or guides for the push rod. Took the push rods out. Shouldn't be too hard to get back in. I guess we'll find out later on. I want to leave them out while I cover it, but I was going to do a covered horn setup on this, and I kind of figured it was going to be more work than it was going to be worth. It really wasn't going to do anything for anything. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this aileron out. The wing is done. It's fine-tuned. I got it to where I want it. The rigs are done.
we're ready to start covering it. So now that we're ready to cover it, we're going to cut these ailerons out. And this is going to be the very first of 4 that I'm going to have to do. This lower wing has 2 ailerons, 1 on each side, and then the upper wing has 1 aileron each side. So I got a total of 4 ailerons. So this is going to be the very first one. So this one might take a little bit longer to do than the rest. The first one's always the longest. So we're going to cut this right out of the wing. And it shouldn't be too difficult. I think I'm just going to run a saw. Okay, 1 rib. 2 ribs. Well, you get the idea. I won't waste tape on this.